The Regional Occupation Program of the Santa Barbara County Education Office offers a variety of career training opportunities for local high school students. Here's a look at the sports medicine and kinesiology programs at the Santa Ynez Valley Union High School.
My name's Jennifer Croll. I am the sports medicine and kinesiology teacher at Santa Ynez High School. I've been teaching sports medicine for 10 years, and I started teaching kinesiology 4 years ago after I helped write the curriculum to get it approved for A through G as a science class here at Santa Ynez High School. So last one of your three today is going to be Peroneus longus. Notice that this is in red. So get back to your notes at some point. This is one of your two stirrup muscles. ROP is Regional Occupational Program. When I started here, the class had been just taught as sports medicine, and it was just the one class. The class was developed and paid for by ROP. So all of the equipment that was in the room, except for the structure itself, was funded by ROP. The benefit doesn't just come to the 30 kids that are in each of my classes. So when I started, there was 23 kids in one class, and now I have upwards of 30 kids in each class. The training room, which is the second half of my facility, was completely funded, again, except for the structure itself, by ROP. So all of the STEM machines, all of the whirlpools, all of the tables, all of the tape, all of the equipment that is put in that room was put in there by ROP.
Kinesiology is basically the study of the movement of the body, and I decided to take it because I'm really interested, or I really like playing sports, and I really am very interested in all of the muscles and everything that are in the body.
Kinesiology versus sports medicine, the kids are able to take both classes at one time. In the kinesiology class, it's definitely more of a science class. The beginning of the year, we start through the major systems of the body. So we do the cardiovascular system, we do the respiratory system, we do the nervous system. I do biomechanics and kinesiology, which when I went to college are full classes, full semester classes. So again, something that ROP allows us to be able to use. The anatomy and clay system is a framework for really all of the systems, but I really concentrate using it on the muscular systems.
What we're doing is we have our mannequins here, and we use clay to build out different muscles of the body, and right now we're focusing on the foot and ankle joint. So we have these papers right here that talk about a lot of the different parts of the muscles, so position, origin, action, insertion, and things like that. And we use that to take the clay and our textbooks to actually build them on the mannequins so we can see where they are in the body.
In the beginning, we were learning the bones because that's the most basic part of the body. That's kind of the, I guess as you would put it, the skeleton of the body. And everything that's any tissue of the body connects to the skeleton. So we learned the skeleton, and then we learned the organs and the important parts of the body.
Inside, the respiratory system, the circulatory system, and things like that, you can kind of see it.
And we've been starting more basic and just narrowing down into more intricate details. So after the skeleton, we learned about, for example, the arteries, which are these red lines here, and the nerves here, and some of the parts of the brain, as shown in here, and the heart.
So right now we have our three new muscles, extensor hallucis longus, extensor digitorum longus, and peroneus longus. And then, so we go here to our book and find each muscle, and it lists the origin, insertion, action, and instruction. So looking at the picture here, kind of better to learn it this way, I think, because you see it in the book, you're not being told exactly put it here and put it here. You have to kind of ballpark it for yourself, and that way you know exactly where it goes. So it's a lot easier to learn.
I actually want to major in kinesiology.
Now I'm a lot more interested in it because I want to be a masseuse, and I'm learning the muscles of the body, which definitely will be useful pursuing that career.
I was drawn to this class because it's something different, not only, but it's hands-on, and for me as a learner, I learn a lot better pretty much with anything when it's hands-on like this, because I can actually see where things are, how to do things, and also it has interested me in pursuing a nursing degree. Not sure yet, but it has made me a little bit more interested in pursuing something like that.
So all of these muscles, the students will learn the origin, the insertion, the action, and then to make it applicable for them, they learn how to actually test a person. So instead of just saying, oh, the action is eversion, so the foot rotating out. Well, that's fine if you're just sitting at a desk and saying that. But now if you have to go into the other room and figure out how to actually test that on a patient, they can see how it parallels over to needing to know that muscle if you were a doctor, if you were a physical therapist, if you were an athletic trainer. So origin insertion. So give me origin insertion. Well, just give me the whole thing, and then she can be our patient, be your patient.
Okay, for the extensor hallucis longus, the origin is on the fibula and the interosseous membrane, and it inserts in the distal phalanx of the great toe. And the action is it extends the great toe, and it helps in ankle inversion and dorsiflexion. And so the patient position is the ankle in neutral, and I'll ask her to straighten your great toe and point towards the ceiling. So that.
Remember, we're not just rewriting information. We're trying to actually think about and understand and apply this information. So when you read it and you're like, it says to plantar flex, but it's on the front of the foot. That doesn't make sense. So is that right? Go look at the book again. Go ask your partner. Go ask me to clarify that information. Okay?
So the peroneus longus. So the origin is going to be the lateral fibula, the distal end of the lateral fibia, and the insertion is going to be the base of the fifth metatarsal. Action is ankle eversion and assist in plantar flexion, and then I'm going to ask my patient to have your ankle and foot neutral, so relax, and then I'm going to ask him to point your toes and move your foot to the side. This is our sports medicine class. I also take the kinesiology class, and I take it because I'm interested in becoming a physical therapist. And so these are two very important things that we need to know, like anatomy. There's no other anatomy at this school, so I take kinesiology. And then for practicality, I take sports med so I can learn actually how to treat, tape, do all that stuff, diagnose injuries. Yeah.
Sports medicine is more geared towards overall the medical field. It is an elective class. It's not a science class. Definitely a more broad population. The kinesiology class is a little more academic population, whereas the sports medicine class, I probably have a good collection of kids that are athletes and that realize that the importance of some of the things that they're going to learn in this class for them as an athlete or for them as potentially a coach in the future, whether they're choosing that as a career field or whether that's just something they're going to do in their evenings and afternoons. Plantar fasciitis itself is a chronic injury due to overuse, unsupported footwear, or tight Achilles tendons. So we're going to correct training problems. So gymnast over there, we're going to make sure that we're stretching and or making sure that you're not doing something in your training and your workouts. Again, it could be other sports. I don't see this very often in this population. This is not this plantar fasciitis is definitely more, I would say, I would see it in like 40s, 50s. Does anyone want to see the turf toe again, or are we pretty good with that? Okay, so you have approximately 20 minutes, 25 minutes. You need to be taping the whole time.
Since you have had a previous injury or you just need support for your next athletic event, I'm going to tape your ankle in a way to help support it while you're playing.
This longer is better than shorter. Okay, so like I can wrap it around a bunch of times, right?
So I wouldn't go too. It's mostly high here, huh?
Yeah, because think if we put it here, then how much is that really going to pull the toe down? We want it to be as distal as possible so we can really pull the toe down a little bit. Because otherwise we don't have enough, like, you know what I mean? It'd be like a piece of tape like that short, or that short. Okay,
okay.
Make sense?
Sure.
So make your check reins there first.
This is like, so while you're playing, you don't feel the discomfort, but once you're done playing, you just remove it whenever you feel like.
If you were actually taping an athlete, I would just cut this off.
Okay.
Instead, I mean, you could pull this here and then just do it around again. So right now we've started into the second semester, and again, just like the other class, we're going into the knee, the ankle, the shoulder. But in this class, instead of dealing with the origin and insertion and such, we're dealing with what are the injuries that can happen in that body part? How do we evaluate that injury? What are the special tests for that injury? And then how do we rehab that injury? We also look at the preventative measures that we can take, or how we would get the athlete back on the field. So in the case right now, we're working on the ankle. They've already learned to tape ankles. Last class, we started working on taping arches. Today we're going to start doing great toe taping, so turf toe injuries. So they're going to continue working on those tapings, and in so doing, they're able to help in the training room after school. As I mentioned, I'm the athletic trainer. They are my student assistants throughout the afternoon, and they help prepare our athletes for games and practices every day.
It's for if you have swelling in your ankle, it takes away the range of motion, so you can't hurt it more.
I do certify all of my students in CPR and first aid. They write a emergency plan for here at the school, so they choose a venue and then build a plan so that if there's an emergency at a venue here at school, the tennis courts, the football field, they understand what all needs to go and be involved in actually getting that emergency solved, getting the ambulance to us, getting the athlete off the field.
Right now I am closing up my tape job that I did for Andrea, and I'm just basically covering in the tape ends. This is a shin splint tape job for like if she has shin splints or when her toes are curled, it's good for plantar fasciitis.
So right now I'm just gonna do an arch taping, so just to give her support on her arch. So I'm gonna start right here and do one strip. Yeah, dorsiflex. Well, I'm supporting her deltoid ligament right now and the ATF ligament. Yeah, so it's the medial longitudinal arch, and that's where the main ligament in the medial longitudinal arch is the deltoid. So that's what I'm supporting right here. And then when you're wrapping around, you're pulling it so that way it gives the support. You're going around the Achilles and wrapping up.
Going through the year, I realized that this class was interesting, and I might go to college and take classes into it. I enjoy learning things that I have so many injuries myself from sports that I go and realize, wow, I realized I probably should have done that different, but I did it this way, and it helps me understand. And I like coming in here and figuring out everything, and learning new things and understanding all these high-end terms and all that fun stuff.
I'm learning how to tape ankle injuries.
I took this class because I wanted to learn more about the body and stuff, because last year I took the kinesiology class and I thought that was super interesting.
I also like learning about like my body and stuff, learn about ligaments and such. I do tennis.
I play volleyball.
So I did cheer for 3 years, swim for 2.
So I play baseball.
It's actually taught me a lot about volleyball because freshman year I fractured my fibula, and I came in here to get taped, and she was teaching me all about it. This is before I even took the classes, so that was really interesting, and I guess that's what kind of motivated me to take this class, because if something does happen, like, I want to know what to do.
Playing my sport, I've seen tons of injuries, and I just would have liked to know how to help somebody if they were to get hurt.
My favorite thing is the excitement I get from learning about our body, because there's a lot of things that are really simple functions that you just don't realize that go on. So it's cool to like really understand, especially as an athlete. So I'm really happy we're learning about the lower leg because I'm a runner, so I use that all the time. And now I understand like, oh, that's why this hurts, or when I'm not feeling, like when I'm running on my toes, that's why I get shin splints.
My favorite thing about this class is just the environment. Everyone's really helpful in helping you learn and stuff. If you have a question, like you're not afraid to ask just because everyone is there to help you. And I really like learning about taping because it's super helpful. And since I'm an athlete, I can tape people on my team and stuff.
I guess my hope would be that all of the students in the class find some reason to be here, that they can all find something to learn from this class, and to, like, in their future, that there's something here that helps them. I have students that come into the class thinking they're going into nursing or some medical profession, and then maybe for whatever reason choose not to. But hopefully they still can find the connection and the importance in the material that I'm teaching them. Even though it may not be something that they use in their career in the future, it's something that they're going to use in their life in the future.
That's all the time we have. We'll close now with our calendar of educational events. We hope you have enjoyed this program and invite you to join us again next time for more innovations in education.